This is the story of Deborah, a prophetess and judge in Israel during a time of great turmoil. But what makes her story so remarkable? Stick around because this ancient tale of exceptional courage and faith is one you don't want to miss. Deborah's story begins in the book of Judges. Here's the twist. In a time dominated by patriarchal societies, Deborah holds a position of leadership, wisdom, and courage. She wasn't just any judge, she was revered as a prophetess, someone who had a divine connection with God. Imagine a gathering where people from all over Israel come not to a palace or a courtroom, but to a palm tree. Yes, the palm tree of Deborah. That is where she would sit, offering judgment and counsel in disputes. But this peaceful role was only half the story. Israel at this time was under the oppressive rule of a Canaanite king named Jabin and his cruel military commander, Sisera. The Canaanites had a powerful army equipped with 900 iron chariots, a technological marvel of the time that filled the hearts of the Israelites with dread. Deborah knew that Israel could not endure this oppression any longer. Driven by her faith, she summoned a man named Barak, a military leader, and gave him an audacious message from God. "The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you. Go and take with you 10,000 men of Naphtali and Zebulun and lead them to Mount Tabor. I will deliver Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, into your hands." Now, pause for a moment. Wouldn't this be a highly daunting task for anyone, let alone for someone like Barak? But here's the catch. Barak agreed, but only on the condition that Deborah accompany him into battle. Stop and think about that. Imagine the weight of such a decision. Everyone's fate was hanging by a thread. Yet, Deborah didn't flinch. Without skipping a beat, she said, "Certainly I will go with you. But because of the course you are taking, the honor will not be yours, for the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman." Let that sink in. Even in the face of war, Deborah's faith in God and her courage to step into the unknown was unwavering. Fast forward to the battlefield. Picture this. 10,000 Israelites, outnumbered, undertrained, and ill-equipped, ascending Mount Tabor to face an enemy armed with state-of-the-art iron chariots. The odds were improbable. Actually, impossible. But we know that miracles thrive in the impossible. Deborah gave Barak the signal to advance, because God had gone ahead to rout Sisera's forces. The skies opened up, and torrential rain turned the battlefield into a quagmire. The mighty iron chariots of Sisera, rendered useless, stuck in the mud. Sisera's invincible army was in complete chaos. What followed was an overwhelming victory for Israel. But the story doesn't quite end there. Sisera, the villainous commander, escaped on foot and sought refuge in the tent of a woman named Jael. Now, if you think this is about to turn into a story of mercy and hospitality, think again. Jael welcomed Sisera warmly and offered him milk to drink, a courtesy gesture in that era. When he felt secure, Sisera lay down to rest, but Jael boldly seized the moment. Armed with nothing but a tent peg and a mallet, she courageously ended Sisera's reign of terror. It was Jael, a woman, who secured the prophecy Deborah had foretold that the honor of defeating Sisera would go to a woman. Deborah's story ends with a song, a triumphant hymn that she and Barak sang, celebrating the victory and God's deliverance of Israel. The Song of Deborah stands as one of the oldest pieces of poetry in the Bible, a testament to her leadership, courage, and faith in God's providence. Deborah's story reminds us that faith knows no gender, no limits, and no bounds. She stepped up during a time when leadership from a woman was unheard of and broke barriers, proving that courage anchored in faith can move mountains, or in this case, defeat armies. So what about you? What battles are you facing that seem insurmountable? Deborah's story teaches us that when you step out in faith and believe in divine providence, you too can conquer anything. The story of Deborah isn't just an ancient tale. It's a timeless lesson in trusting God and leading with courage. So remember, whether you're under the palm tree of Deborah or standing in the face of seemingly impossible odds like the Israelites, your faith can turn the impossible into possible. Who knows? Your actions might inspire others for generations to come. And that's the remarkable story of Deborah, the prophetess and judge who changed the course of history. Thank you for watching and reflecting on this empowering story. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible Bible stories in this series. And as always, stay blessed.